From my experience, my life should be a tragedy, but I wanted truth cause I knew that there had to be a better way than what I had ever seen. The gunfights and crack sales, the addictions to the streets, drugs, lies, pain.
Nissim, happy to be here with you. Real rapper, lyrics, beats, flow, music, amazing.
Thank you.
First question was from this Gangsta rapper, D Black. From Seattle to Nissim Black today, Jew, Orthodox, Breslev. Who you want to touch with your music, really?
You know what? I think the biggest thing for me is just to touch people that want to hear positivity, you know, especially right now. You know, we look at what's going on in the world today and hip hop even as a genre, right?
Yeah.
So much negativity. It's highlighted. It's praised. It's something that has really been glorified as if it's something good, but the negativity really bring a person down. We also see depression at all-time high, anxiety, which leads to physical ailments, right? And music is so powerful that it has the ability to heal. It has the ability to uplift and bring people out of the lowest places. So, you know, I want that my music will be able to reach a person in that place and to be able to bring them up.
Yeah. Did you keep contact with the music world, from US, like rappers?
You know, I didn't really keep contact with anybody really like that. You know, when I got on my journey, I sort of like put my head down and kept going, you know, like Hashem said to Abraham, you know, Lech Lecha, you know. So I left from my father's house and I went to go find myself, you know, and I feel like, you know, after getting myself on solid ground to where I'm standing on something firm, and then now it's more necessary to reach back out and to see, you know, how much light you can spread into the world. So
all the things you went through, terrible stories. I read that your family was dealing crack at home. You saw like a raid of FBI in your house.
Right.
You became part of gangs.
Right.
And the tragical thing also is the death of your mother.
Right.
Of an overdose, yeah? I wanted to understand, you always felt that there was something bigger than you, no? And after Muslim, Christian religion, you decided to convert to Judaism.
Hip-hop world, as you can imagine, is very, very diverse, but it's filled with a lot of violence and different things like that. And as I started to grow, you know, in terms of a fan base and start to get out there more, there was one rapper who decided that he wanted to make a song about me, which was typical back then, you know, in terms of, you know, making the battle rap songs and stuff like that. And there was one particular day that the song had made its way to me, and a friend of mine was there in the studio. We heard it, and you know, my first initial reaction is that, you know, I'm gonna make a song back. A friend of mine who was with me said, you know, we're just gonna go beat him up, you know, the guy, and we'll solve it that way. We're not gonna make any songs back, you know, because we didn't want to give the promotion. And that, you know, led to a physical altercation. We ended up finding the guy, and that led into a friend of mine trying to go take the other guy's life. And after that happened, they thought that I sent him to go do that. Put me in I always say, a kill to be killed situation. And when your back is against the wall, like we're just seeing in Yetziat Mitzrayim, Labdil, and you feel like, you know, no one else can help you, what do? You cry out to God. And because I had muscle memory from being a teenager who was praying all the time and talking to God, and even though I went a whole different route, you know what I mean, by being engulfed by music and what hip-hop was at the time, what it was for me, that put me in a position where I had no other answers. I had to cry out, because or else I was going to have to make a decision that could have ended my life or someone else's. So I prayed very, very hard, and God had worked it out that we were able to have a conversation on the phone. And after we put everything behind us, you know, I realized that it was a chance for me, and it was a wake-up call for me to realize that if I want to really take hold of life and to live life to its fullest, I need God included.
Yeah.
So I focused on that, and I spent a lot of time praying, picked up the Bible, and then eventually that's what led to the discovery of Judaism.
And go to Judaism.
Yeah.
And the community of Seattle, the Jewish community, accept you easily in the synagogues and everything when you came, when you arrived?
Yeah, naturally, first thing you come across when you're online is Chabad. So I started going to a Chabad on the east side, and I spent a lot of time on Chabad.org and, downloading shiurim, and, it was just sort of like, sometimes I tear up when I think about it. And I know this is true for a lot of Gerim, that it's almost like this treasure you've been searching for a long time.
Yeah.
And now it finally starts to, show you where it is,
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't know what I could do. I was listening to shiurim on Shabbos, and just the closeness to God that I was feeling. Naturally, out of reading the Bible, you say, wow, Hashem has a Torah, he has a people, he has a land. I want to be there. I want to be a part of it, right? So eventually my wife and my wife's sister is married to one of my best friends since kindergarten, like a brother to me. And all of us, we ended up on this journey together. And we moved into the Orthodox community, which I was very familiar with because I grew up in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I grew up as a kid there. I used to walk through the synagogues to go to school and whatever. So I was very familiar with the area. So we ended up moving back there and starting conversion.
And the reaction of the family, of your friends, of the gang, of everything, they tried to dissuade you to do this?
I got away.
You got away.
Lech lecha. I went away. The truth was, more than I was running away from that, I was running towards something.
Yeah.
I wanted something. And I put my head down and I went after it. And I didn't think about anything in the back. I couldn't hear anything that was not in line with me reaching that goal of that ultimate relationship with God. I cut it. I got out of it. Even music. I let it go at first.
When you decide to develop your music, your spiritual music, and the choice, you came to Israel, but it wouldn't be better to stay in LA or New York or the music world is amazing there. States can help for you, for the music to develop it.
Absolutely.
But you choose Israel and you choose Bet Shemesh. It's not on Israel.
The truth is, I was in Jerusalem for the first 3 years that I was here. So I'm happy to be here now. But I always tell people like this. If you want to pursue a life of entertainment, music, almost anything in the arts, people pick up and they throw away everything and they move to Los Angeles, or they move to New York, for fashion, right?
Yeah.
New York is huge. When that is your main priority in life and you realize how important it is, and I'm willing to put everything on the line to reach, what I feel like is not only important to me, but it's what I'm here to do, you leave everything and you go to that place. Israel is a place for spirituality and a place for God. When a person really wants that, they pick up and they leave and they go to the place, right? So it's the same thing for me. It's like the music, everything that I have, all, in my opinion, all belongs to God. I'm giving everything back. This is my korban. I used it for myself already. Thank you. And it didn't take me where I wanted to go. So, realizing that the main thing that I wanted out of life was that connection with God. I wanted the ruchnis, the spirituality part. That was the most important thing for me, that I was willing to throw it all on the line. So I moved to Eretz Israel. That's it.
Wake up from everything. Break out your shell and scream. Ha, Shem, you're the king. Ha, Shem, you're the king.
It was more important than being in LA or New York or whatever. Because listen, same God that can provide for me over there, He's going to provide for me over here. So it doesn't. And the truth is, I've been more busy. I've had more success, and I've been more even powerful, I would say, in terms of being able to reach so many people from here.
Yeah, but let's talk about style. Yeah,
right.
Let's talk about style.
I know you like to talk about style. Let's do style.
But I'm sure you like style also.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
we see all those video clips, we see the style you're creating, means twist between a Hasidic look with those flat hats, long frak or surtout, but sometimes with a gold chain, sneakers, hip-hop codes. This is important for you, means to keep your spirit in all this music business and really in all this religion style. I mean, you, to be you, I mean Nissim Black.
The truth is, you know, and I think even speaks volumes for the music, even sonically, is that, you know, you realize that your godless, your greatness is going to be when it's all of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not some of you, but all of you. And what I started to notice over the years as I, you know, started to get more comfortable with these added elements, bringing back elements, certain things, was that the place where the general interest where people would take a place was in the whole story, what it was, what it is now, what's that connection like now, you know, is it possible for you to still serve God and be as devoted to your Yiddishkeit and to your relationship with God, and also, you know, be able to have a foot on the ground and connection with, you know, your old community and different things like that. And I think those things are powerful and so important right now, especially in this time, you know, when we're in and when we're looking at, you know, what's going on socially in America and around the world right now. So I think it's very, very important to do that. And for the next generation, to help people that are not being now. I would never walk out of the house like with a gold chain. You know, I'm definitely clowning and having fun in the video. You know, I'ma turn it up. I'ma turn it up. I'ma turn it up. I just don't see that.
For tomorrow, one of your child come and tell you he wants to do music, he wants to do hip hop, he wants. I ask you this question because I have the same question. I mean, they want to do fashion, and sometimes it's not easy to find a good answer because you know the danger also of this world.
Right. So that's the biggest part about it, and it's not just only with my children; it's with other children. You know, there are a lot of people that are religious that listen to me. When people ask me about rapping or whatever, I generally don't encourage people. You know, one of the reasons why is, I think the most simplest way is that, for me personally, I have antibodies that they don't have, you know? If they grew up...
I understand. It's the best answer. This is really the best. I keep it for me for the next time. This is the best answer,
It's real, you know? I was in those places, so I know what it was like to had them and to yearn for all of that, to get some of those things. And then to be really turned off, like my body rejects a lot of those things because I know how fake it is, I know how not real it is. But other people, they're not prepared to it. They don't have any antibodies. They can go out there and get swallowed up, even my children. So, you know, I think the best thing is sort of like, you know, I'm all about fostering your gifts and your talents, and you know, not everybody was made to sit in the base midrash. I don't even think half, not even majority of people were made to sit in the base midrash. Each person has their chalik and their own gifts and talents. Is just as important as this person learning Torah for that person to fulfill what they're supposed to do in this world. So I'm all about that. However, when it comes to certain things like this, if I didn't feel like this was 100% what Hashem wanted me to do, I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
If I didn't have the chashash. So I for sure wouldn't put anybody else into a line of fire, you know what I mean? And say, so with my own kids, you know, I do see that some of them are talented and whatever, and they can go on their way, but they don't even know hip-hop, they only know me, you know?
Yeah, but it's something, man.
They don't even like. I'm the only one in the world for them. They had no idea that such a thing exists. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know.
When you want to do something, that's going to help you to do it.
It's going to help you to do it, right?
The answer you can give for people who want to do Shabbat, but they say it's too complicated. When you start to do it, it's what is a Shabbat with Nissim Blackers at home?
And Baruch Hashem, when we were in Yerushalayim, I don't do as much here, but I was in Yerushalayim. I used to host Bacham, 30, 40 boys every Friday night. I used to have a lot of yeshiva Bacham, American boys, from either Brisk or the Mir or Yagdil and Celebration. I used to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning. Wow. Till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Singing.
Divrei Torah,
What is your
Divrei
favorite
Emunah.
song on Shabbat?
My
There is-
favorite song is, I mean, my favorite song is probably Karibon. I
Yeah?
love to sing
You
on
love-
Shabbos. Even
yeah.
more, I love the menucha of Shabbos, that like just the Divrei Torah that comes out on Shabbos. To be honest, like as much as I'm musical and stuff, I'm not so involved with music apart from me making music.
Yeah.
I don't listen to it a lot, and when I do, people would think like, you know, I'm like listening to all like the hip hop. I listen to Yosef Karduna. I listen to Shlomo Katz. I love Zusha. I'm listening to like, you know, all the songs of Eitan. I listen to like the slow music. There's a guy named Raz Hartman.
Yes,
and,
yes.
And I think he's in Nachlaot. I listen to him also. Like I like the opposite of my music. I listen to very soft. All the Torah-Box songs, the soft ones, the slow. Yehuda Green.
Yeah.
This is what I listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And that I'm usually listening to in preparation for like his vodalis. Outside of that, when I'm in the car and stuff like that, I'm not listening. Unless I'm working, I'm listening to my stuff. But I'm not generally like involved in music. So even on Shabbos, where it's a time of Zmiras, I push myself to sing Zmiras. I want to just talk Torah. I just want to learn Torah. So even on Shabbos, where I should want to sing, I find it interesting that I'm not so like running after all the nigunim.
What would be your advice to the new generation? Because
Right.
maybe they're a bit scared about what's going to happen.
Right.
You fight so many things difficult means in your life,
Right.
and Baruch
Right.
Hashem, you're here and
Right.
continue to do it. What would be your advice?
This is a time to really strengthen that connection, right? Because when you think about struggles, strifes, the hardship, just the depression, the suicides, anxiety, everything that's going on right now is just a matter of how a person approaches the situation. That's all it is, right? And that's very, very hard to change the way that you feel. If you feel fear or you're depressed about something, you can't just change that on your own. But by a person being connected to God, who can control everything, and the more and more that becomes a reality, that could change the way you react to things, how you react to news, how you react to whatever you're facing. It can change. So the goal isn't, I always say, never to not struggle ever. It's to redefine how you interpret the struggle. You could turn a struggle into a blessing, even while going through it.
To finish, you could make me a small song, like without beat,
I don't know
without
what
music behind, just something special for today.
He said it's God's plan, but I'm God's man. I used to run with BGD. I dropped the B and put a OF to the G. 6 points still, big up King D.
King D in the synagogue, camouflage, but I can't wipe the skin off. I'm proud of it, it's loud a bit, but I'm not trying to crisscross. I done made it this far, hold it all in my heart. I hold my breath and brace myself when they take their socks off. Ain't no monkey business, cause ain't no monkeys in here. I know what you've been thinking, the black Abe Lincoln. Just wanted you to be aware. Signing off, it's Mr. Black, Hitler's worst nightmare, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
very much.